Okay, what's up, everybody? So today we want to talk about connecting to God's presence from a place of the practice of silence. And one thing I love to see about Ashley that I'm amazed is how she can sit still on a couch with her eyes closed and her journal on her lap and connecting with yourself within and with God while there are kids running around. It just, I don't know if I could do that. So
tell them what you do.
it just shows you, you know, there's just no excuse. Like you have to figure it out. So for me, you know, the presence of God is what animates who we truly are. It is what sustains our everyday life. It's what carries us. It's what inspires us. It's what it's where our courage, our confidence, our hope, all of it flows from this place of union. So learning though how to connect, and to connect means to be consciously aware and enjoying this presence intimately, is connecting with the presence of God. Because when I'm conscious of that presence, I'm conscious of my true self. And what I mean by being conscious with my true self, I realize who I am, but also how I'm supposed to feel about me. How I'm supposed to feel. Do you feel good about yourself? Connecting with the presence of God intimately helps you to feel good about yourself. And when you feel good about yourself,
What do you mean by that?
you feel good about others. Meaning,
You feel peace.
do you feel peace? Do you feel do you feel anxious? You know, how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about your situation, etc.? When I'm connected to the source who is love, there is no how can I say gap? There is no lack. There is enoughness. There is completion. When
For me, it's clarity. I get clarity when I feel God's presence. Like I just am clear. I can just feel a sense of peace and
so that's
rest.
interesting, because when you say clarity, you don't just mean you have clarity in terms of what to do next, like direction or where to go. You have clarity about how you feel. You feel clear.
It's both. It's clarity about what to do next, and it's clarity in regards to how.
Because sometimes I don't. This might be you. I think that's awesome, but I don't always feel clear in terms of, okay, go do this now and do that now.
No, it's not exact.
Right.
But it's just clarity. Yeah.
I don't think that. But for me, what I can always feel is feel better about myself, which is I feel about myself the way God feels about me,
which is peace,
which is love towards me, joy towards me, kindness, courage. Now the clarity on next steps or the action to take or what to do about this or what to do about that, it should flow from this place of connection. Not from a place of compulsion. Oh, I'm worried. I feel bad about my circumstance. I feel nervous about my situation. So let me just go and do a bunch of stuff so that I don't have to feel the feelings that have always been there.
Which we say a lot. The verbiage we use for that is inside out. So we're big on the inside out living. So it's not, we're not grabbing things on the outside to feel better about ourselves within. We know we're enough within because of that cultivation.
Right.
So then we can go and overflow and do and create and, you know, all of those things from the inside out, not from the outside in.
We are rather say, because we do still grab things on the outside to help us feel better, especially having little kids and being self-employed, but we are committed to being mindful about when we are living from the outside in versus the inside out. Yeah. Just so that you don't feel any condemnation when you feel a certain way. So one of the modalities that I love and have fallen in love with is just simply sitting in silence. And I think I appreciate silence so much because my house is very noisy and it's very loud with three powerful girls who I love.
We love it. Yeah.
It's loud and it's wild. And so just literally sitting in silence, I sit down, I close my eyes. I have no real agenda. I'm not looking necessarily for some extravagant experience. I'm just literally coming to sit and surrender and practice the art of letting go. I'm watching the thoughts that's spinning around. I'm feeling the feelings that are going up and down, and I'm growing more and more in the understanding that I am not fundamentally the thoughts that are going round and round that are so random. The feelings that are up and down and unstable at times, that I'm not those feelings. I'm the one observing them. The one observing them is one with God, here and now, despite the feelings and the thoughts.
So what do you do when a thought comes, when it's overwhelming, or you feel anxious, or you feel like you have to go or do, like, what do you do with that?
I observe. I try to remind myself that this is an invitation for me to surrender into my true self even more. So when
you just, like, what do you mean by observe? Yeah,
I just watch, I just observe, I just look at it, I just feel it. I don't deny it. I acknowledge that it's there. Number one, I acknowledge the strong emotion, the strong uncomfortable emotion. I acknowledge the mental, sometimes just, chaos. Might sound strong, but I know all of you can relate. So I acknowledge, oh wow, I feel a certain way. The second step is I'm okay with it. I'm accepting that it's there. I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to fix it, as if there's something wrong with me fundamentally. There's nothing wrong with me fundamentally. And
that's how we raise our kids too. It's like the same thing. When they have a big emotion or a big feeling or a big thought, we're acknowledging it, but we're not reacting or responding to it, right? We're like, okay, it's okay that you said that, or like, what's a good example? Like, just we're present with it. We're present with them as they're feeling big feelings and having tantrums, and we try our best to do that, where we're really allowing them to have space to have these big thoughts or big feels, and we're a safe place for that. So the same is true for yourself.
Then there's boundaries. Like, I don't also allow those feelings and thoughts to get me to take some action. I have boundaries. The same way with a child. This is a good analogy. When a child is having a tantrum, in the moment when I'm calm, I'm gentle, but I'm not just giving that child what the child wants. There's a healthy discipline about this. So the boundaries are when when I'm connected to myself and to God, it looks like I'm smiling on the inside. Sometimes I'm smiling at them because they're so cute, but I'm calm, and I'm not going to let you just come and do whatever you want, whenever you want. That's not going to be healthy either. And in time, my calmness and my observation of the tantruming child, my acceptance of the child, like she was saying, it gets regulated, it gets reconciled to God. It gets reconciled. So the emotions is connected to the child within that was never really seen and loved and held enough.
Your emotions, you're saying.
Your emotions. Like, we weren't made to worship. We were made to experience love. We were made to experience the affection that was always there for us before time.
So good.
That's fascinating. So when I feel those things again, it is this invitation to learn to surrender even better. However, I will say this, this will only work, like, this will really work well for you when this is the main thing in your life. When this thing is more important than making money, although that's awesome, and we all need to do more of that and stay true to ourselves. This is more important than your career, giving yourself to these other things outside of you, is the practice of being connected, consciously aware of the presence of God. Because when you don't, you end up gaining your world, and your world could be whatever profession, whatever career. You can gain that world, whatever that is outside of you. You can gain that world, but you can at the expense of your soul. Meaning, when you're alone at night, you don't really feel grounded, loved, seen enough.
We talk to people that deal with this all the time. This is a big one for us.
Like,
what are we doing? Are we gaining the world and losing our soul, or are we cultivating our soul and also gaining the world? That's and good. Gaining more of what God has in store for all of us.
Or
So
what's in our heart, just
Yeah.
in general. So
What's
sitting
the
in silence
motivation?
is it's I'm not surprised
yeah,
by
that's
the noise, the clutter, the strong feelings that come up, or at least I'm learning to no longer be surprised. And as I do dive deeper and I extend compassion to those parts of me instead of judgment to those parts, or trying to fix it as if there's something wrong. You know, in the garden where God says to Adam, who told you you were naked? Essentially, God was saying to Adam, who told you there's something wrong with you? That's the problem. There's nothing wrong with you. So, more to come. I hope you enjoyed this. Any final thoughts?
So with that said, try to start practicing silence in your own space. Observe the thoughts. Give them a hug is what we also say. Like if you have a thought or an emotion that feels overwhelming or it feels like it's going to overtake you, be compassionate to it. Don't judge it. Don't push it away. Don't deny it. Don't numb it. But, show compassion to it. And then with that said, then from there, it's like you're cultivating this new culture within yourself that cultivates safety, strength, peace, consistency, rest, capacity. Like with kids especially, like I've watched this with both of us, like as we continue to do this and we regulate and we feel and we heal, we're creating more space within ourselves for more things that is going on around us and that's coming up within us. So we'll leave you with that. We hope this encourages you and we will chat with you soon. Okay, guys.